What up, infidels? Let's do it. Another week, another Brown. Hope you guys are liking my new release schedule. If you love the podcast, this is how I'm releasing the schedule now. Releasing the podcast now every Monday. You get the full audio, unedited version, and then YouTube over the week. I make edited clips of the different sections to talk about. You know how we go through sections, different things, and then at the end of the week, I post the full unedited video. So that's how we'll be rolling now. It's a little more work for me, but it makes the podcast a little more digestible for y'all. And I hope you guys enjoy that. As always, leave a comment on the stuff you like and stuff you want to talk about, and I'll go ahead and talk about it. We are recording this on Friday, September 29th. So that's when we are recording this. But, you know, well, things that happened this week. Let's go. Things that happened today. Yo, Dianne Feinstein died. Woo! We did it, boys. We're finally down an old one. Mitch McConnell, come on down. They're all going to hell. We need to get the olds out of here. No more olds. No more olds. No more olds. I've said it here again, and I said it before. I'm done voting for old people, bro. If my next president doesn't know a TikTok dance, I'm out. I'm out. You gotta know that my money don't jiggle, it folds or some shit. You know what I mean? Get the fuck out of here. Finally, bro. We're done wheeling in her corpse to vote. That's what we were doing. We were wheeling in her corpse to vote. And she held on for as long as she possibly could. That's why she stayed alive, I think, was to hold on to power. Because her body was out of here a few years ago. That's what it felt like. Mitch McConnell froze up when asked about re-election. It's like, bro, why is that even in the realm of possibility, dude? If you can't answer a question about re-election, you don't deserve to be re-elected. Plain and simple. How the fuck is Biden running again, dude? This is insane. And Trump's still with it cognitively, but bro, if let's say Trump wins, he gets another 4 years, he'll be above 80. He could lose it at any time. We gotta get these olds out of here. No more olds. That should be across the board. I don't care about partisan issues or whatever. That should be agreed by everybody. Left, right, red, blue, Republican, Democrat, male, female, people who identify as male, people who identify as female, they, them, zimzers. Everyone should be like, hey, no more olds. But Feinstein's finally dead. Woo! Thank the Lord, Feinstein is dead. You know what I mean? That's the symbol of victory right here. Right here. This is it right here. We did it. We did it. We did it. Because that's the only thing that'll make this country better is just death, dude. Death. I don't know what age has to do with the impending government shutdown. I guess by the time I release this, the government will be shut down. If they don't figure it out, which they won't. It doesn't seem like they will. I don't know what age has to do with that, but, you know? Can't help that the government's about to shut down again. Bro, I went the first, 20 years of my life without the government shutting down, without even knowing that the government can shut down. I didn't even know that was a possibility. That the government can just shut down. And now it's the fourth time this is happening in the last 10 years or some shit. It's probably the third time in my life. But either way. Yo, if you are a congressperson during a government shutdown, everyone should just lose their jobs. If you can't figure out how to keep the country going, what are you even there for? Everyone. Even for the people who voted to keep it open. Gone. Gone. Start over. Clean slate. Diane Feinstein's dead. Ding Dong the witch is dead. Everyone else got to go too. We got a clean house. If the government shuts down, no, you shouldn't be allowed to keep your job because that's the one thing you were voted on by the people to do is run the government. I don't even know what we're arguing about. It's probably some bullshit. Probably some bullshit. I don't know. We're probably still giving a fuck ton of money to Ukraine, right? Let's make sure we keep their government going while ours is shut down. Dude, so wild. Growing up, one of the big reasons why I disliked the Republican Party was this continued war in Iraq, this bullshit, like we gotta go defend democracy over there when we were really there to expand our own needs and expand our imperial power and obviously our dependence on foreign oil. And something that really shrunk me away from the Republican Party as a kid is like, why are we in this endless war? And now the Democrats are just doing the exact same thing. Really? We need to defend democracy over there? Is that what we need to do? We really need to, after we're the ones who pushed to expand NATO into Ukraine, now we have to defend their democracy? Is that what we really need to do? While things are going to shit here, just people robbing stores in major cities, which is a direct consequence of things not being good here. Of course, people will steal en masse when they have needs that aren't being met. We're going to prop up this country just so why? We can have a big dick showing contest with Russia? Is that what this is about? Is that what this is about? No, by the way, the one thing I did know, the one thing I do know about this new government spending, there's like no funding for border security. What are we doing? Where are our priorities? Where are our priorities? I mean, we have so many Diane Feinsteins in the world. That's where our priorities really are. Hold on, real check. You know what I realized? I forgot to start timing this, so I have no idea where I am. I'm just yelling about Diane. Bro, that is how infuriating Diane Feinstein is I forgot to do my job, which is okay because she barely did hers at the end there, huh? Diane Feinstein. Just, ugh. So old. She's so old. When was she born? When was Diane Feinstein born? She's dead, yeah. Woo, hee, wah, wah, ooh, ee, ooh, bing, bang, walla, walla, bing, bang. Ooh, ee, ooh, bing, bang, walla, walla, bing, bang. She was born in 1933, dude. Diane Feinstein was alive when one of the Wright brothers was alive. She was not a teenager. She was still a kid when World War II ended, but she was almost a teenager when World War II ended. You know what's funny? I just have one of the Wright brothers' dates in my head. I know that because I read something interesting. Apparently, Orville Wright of the Wright brothers was alive when we dropped the bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy how fast technology moves? Do you think he saw the news and was like, whew, yikes, you know? Oh no. Oh no. Am I Orville right? No, no, no. You got that wrong, Orville. I'm the popcorn guy. I'm the popcorn guy. I don't know that Orville right. Asshole. You know what I mean? You think a little bit of him was like, Jesus Christ, I did not know it was gonna lead here. I thought it was just a cool invention, us flying, us going against the will of God. And that's who Dianne Feinstein was alive for. She got to see the death of Orville Wright. Crazy, dude. Crazy. But at least she's gone, and we got a few more to go. We got a few more to go. And obviously, I'm not saying that, it should be something that's, put upon by other people to do. That's not what I want. No, time will do its job here. Time will take its course. You know what I should do for the Dangerous Brown podcast? You know what eventually I want to do? I think eventually I want to be in front of remember those Osama cave videos? That's what the background of this should be. Yo. Fire. When I have my own studio and eventually when I have my own studio in my own place, that's what it's going to be. Oh my God, guys, I just thought of the best idea ever. And I would have never got there if Dianne Feinstein didn't die today. So, shout out to Dianne. Thank you for dying and making my dreams come true. Oh my God. Oh my God. What a glorious day. What a glorious day. It's crazy too, because I probably voted for her at some point, right? Where it's like when I was a voter in California, I just voted D straight on the ticket because I was like, these guys care. I don't think I'd ever vote for a Democratic attorney general ever. I can't have someone soft on crime. Now with the way things are gonna go. As more people pour into this country, as more people, as the climate, as there's going to be climate refugees eventually. You don't want what happened in Italy to happen here, where in that island in Italy where the natives are outnumbered 6-1, and there's opposing ethnic factions that control different parts of the city now. You don't want to be a part of that, do you? So, right wing. Fuck, what do they call it? Grifter? Right wing grift begin. Right wing gift begin. No. I don't plan on being a right wing because there's still certain things. Hey, we can't force people to have abortions if they're raped. That's insane. Sorry, no, we can't people to force their babies if they're raped, especially by keep their babies if they're raped, especially if by their fucking parents or some shit. You know what I mean? Bro, what is it? I don't trust either wing. When I fly in a plane, I fly in the center. I don't tend to fly on the wings. Anyways, but either way, I'm happy that Feinstein's dead, and I hope McConnell, you're soon. The beautiful thing about McConnell is that if he sneezes too hard, it's over. But yeah, shout out to Dianne Feinstein, rotten hell. Okay. So much to talk about. So much happened this week. The Hassan Minhaj thing happened. He basically got caught by the New Yorker lying about certain things that he had said in his special / one-man show about lies he created and talking about emotional truths. That's what he called them. Just they're not true. They're emotional truths because the feeling that I had inside were true when I said that. And here's the thing: there's certain things that are that in comedy, right? This is something the way someone when I was a very young comic, his name is Kirk Fox, a veteran comic. Explain the joke to me, right? A joke is two circles. Here's the fist, that's the center circle, and then the outer circle. The center circle is the truth. The outer circle is the lies that you put around the truth to make the joke funny. But the truth is the same, right? And so that's what some people will be like, well, Hassan's a comedian. Of course, there's lies and embellishments in comedians. The problem is the real deal issue with what he did was that he wasn't lying when he was telling a joke. He's trying to make you feel bad for him. He's trying to make you be like, oh, whoa, look at this man look at this Muslim man and the terrible things that happened to him in this country. FBI informant in his mosque comes and tries to set him up, and the girl won't go to prom with him because he's brown, and a cop slammed his head against the cop car, and fucking someone sent his daughter anthrax, and he opened the envelope on his daughter or some shit. And it's like, bro, what? And I saw Homecoming King, which is his first thing, and I really enjoyed it. It's like clear that he's a great storyteller. He knows how to put art together in a way that's cohesive and makes sense and as a flow. And as a brown person, I really did connect to it. And, in terms of like, dating as a brown guy or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? So, but to that. So it's clear that he has that ability to be a great joke teller and storyteller. But the reality is I don't think you can lie about things that aren't jokes. You're not joking. He wasn't joking. He was trying to garner sympathy. He made up lies to garner sympathy. And you can't do that. You can't, like, you know what I mean? It wasn't a joke. He was saying this like it was true. And this is where he really fucked up. This is what he really fucked up. He used people's real names in his lies. People were getting Instagram messages, threats because of what he said. The girl he supposedly couldn't go to prom with because her parents were racist, and he didn't find out till he was about to take her to prom, and she saw another guy placing a corsage on her. He used her real name, posted her real Facebook. Can't do that. For sympathy? Embellish a story to make it funny. Can't embellish a story to make people go, aw. It's not how that works. It's not how that works. Really. And what happened, and also the fact that he was talking to the New Yorker and just let it go, let it slip. Like, he was talking to, this only happened because he was talking to reporters. That's hubris. That's ego. Even telling them, like, hey, there's some emotional truths in my thing, there's some emotional truths, but not real truths, making them look into the story deeper and exposing it all. I'm curious, for Hassan, what does this mean? Does it matter? He's about to go on tour again. I don't think it matters that much. I think the sort of lesson that you can see from the whole Hassan Minhaj situation is that sometimes being a professional victim is addicting. Look at all the praise and attention and sympathy that he got from the first few lies. Well, if the first few lies gathered me this much, the next few lies will get me more. We live in a world where being a professional victim can be rewarded. And that's the real lesson from the Hassan thing. Because Hassan is a comic. Bro, headlines everywhere. He's a professional comedian. But in his journey to being a professional comedian, he also found out he could also be a professional victim. And that works. That works sometimes better than being a professional comedian. For being a professional comedian, doesn't get you sympathy a lot of the time. Gets you scrutiny, way more scrutiny than, let's say, even a politician can get sometimes for the shit you say, the shit you joke about. But being a professional victim gets people on your side. And am I saying all this because I'm a little bit bitter that I reached out to him, even though he doesn't really follow me, to open for one of his shows and he didn't answer? Yeah. Yeah, of course that's what this is really about. Because in this whole situation of Hassan being a victim, the real victim is me because I didn't get stage time. That's what this is about. Being a professional victim is bad when other people do it. When I do it, it's okay. When I do it, hell yeah. He's a professional victim. You know, and it just sucks as a brown person because we have so much representation now, and you know, it's all kind of like Aziz got fucked, Hassan got fucked and fucked himself. Hassan did both. Aziz also kind of fucked himself. Like he sort of bent a little bit. In my mind, he bent to the mob that was coming after him when he did absolutely nothing wrong. Aziz did nothing wrong. I want to put that out there. He did nothing wrong. He had a bad date by this anonymous girl on this random website that doesn't exist anymore. She accused him of giving him. She had the worst night of her life with him, and he ate her pussy twice or some shit like that during the day. It's like, yo, if the worst day in your life, Aziz Ansari, eats your pussy twice, what an amazing life that you had. What an amazing life that you had. Or Aziz Ansari is like the worst at eating pussy in the world. One of the two. But Aziz got fucked. But I think he sort of knelt to the mob a little bit. I wish he didn't. I wish he would like, no, this was, what do I have to apologize for? I don't have anything to apologize for. What, all dates are supposed to go, wow, amazing? Get out of here, dude. Get out of here. I've had plenty worse dates that didn't end with me eating their pussy. I'll tell you that. Yeah, but I guess my least favorite thing representation wise to happen to brown people is the Apu documentary. I didn't like that at all. Just not a fan of it. The what's wrong, you know, it got Apu taken off The Simpsons, which is whatever. You know, The Simpsons has been just in, I feel like a death crawl in the last few seasons, so it doesn't really matter, like, who really watches The Simpsons anymore. So, you know, it's not like they took them out of old episodes, which would have been the problem. But my overall problem with that is, like, sure, there is a discussion to have about Apu and stereotypes and media, sure. But my issue is if you're the guy who True TV or wherever it was gave a platform to, you're Hari Kondabolu. And instead of using your platform to maybe create the representations of brown people in media that you want, you use your shot to complain about how we were represented. And it's like, bro, it's so funny to be brown and then not take the Gandhi advice of being the change you want to see in the world. Gandhi didn't say, hey, complain about the shit that's happened. He said, be the change you want to see. And you have that opportunity and you don't use it. Frustrating, bro. Frustrating. I was just so, because, and I remember being in meetings with Comedy Central when I first started comedy. And I would bring them sketch ideas. I would bring them all these ideas that I had. And they were always like, no, but we want to know your story. We want to know what it's like being brown in America. And none of my stories were like that. They were just, you know what I mean? That's not what I want to write about. You know, or if I do write about that, I want to write that on my own terms. But and what's so frustrating to me is that they wanted the perspective of a brown guy, but only when talking about being brown. And it's like, yo, if you gave me a sketch show, wouldn't naturally that be from a perspective of a brown guy? I'm a brown guy. Not that I said I deserved a sketch show or anything like that, but I'm just saying, like, let's say you did. That's already from the perspective of a brown person. Doesn't matter if the sketches are all about being brown or whatever the fuck. That's, I think, a big way in which Hollywood gets diversity representation wrong. Just the way Hollywood does diversity is so infuriating. It's so infuriating, dude. It genuinely is. It's like, what are we doing? Why are we making a Latina Snow White? Just make a Latina princess. Why do you have to take an old story and make it new? Or make just make a, what was great? Princess and the Frog. That was a great movie. Although ironically, I think that's a take on an old, so that kind of defeats what I'm saying. But regardless, just give her own movie. It's okay. I would give Rachel Ziegler a chance as another Disney princess instead of this like weird bad PR campaign she's been having with Snow White. Just make her own movie. Also, how are you gonna have a Snow White that's brown? It's in the name, Snow White. It's not called Snow Se Puede or whatever. Just make new things. That's all we ask. I didn't watch the female Ghostbusters because, these are women that are Ghostbusters. No, I didn't watch it because I don't give a fuck about Ghostbusters, dude. Have those women in something else. Come up with something original. I would absolutely give a Latino princess a chance. I know she's not a princess, but I thought Encanto was phenomenal. Unreal. You know why? Because I hadn't seen anything like it. It's not racism that's not driving these people to the movies, and it's not. It's the lack of originality and then messing with just the paradigms that we knew in our head. Create something new. Stop trying to go back. Stop trying to go back. But yeah. I'm curious. I'm curious as to what the Hassan Minaj fallout is going to be. Can't be as bad as anthrax poisoning. I'll say that. Snow Se Puede is pretty good. Do I want to talk about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce? What's been said about them that hasn't already been said a bunch of times? Well, what sucks about, because I want to talk about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, but I'm recording this before the Jets game, so I don't even know what happens. I know that she's coming to the Jets game, which is like, if you want to show your girlfriend how good you are at football, having them come watch you play the Jets and the Bears is a just solid move. Solid move by Kelce. Like, really good. I'm tinfoil hat time. Okay, so during the Bears game, they showed Taylor constantly during the game. And then obviously they show Kelce. And then in the middle of the game, there is an ad for Pfizer in which Kelce is a spokesperson about getting boosted and getting vaccinated. Now, my question is, coincidence? Happy coincidence for Pfizer? Or part of the, hey, maybe we should at least meet Kelce this one time. See if we hit it off. Like, is there input from people around her? Because I know that she can be very strategic with her relationships. Well, that's not fair to her. If you're that famous, you have to be strategic with your relationships. You have to be. Does that play a part? Are these pharmaceutical companies so powerful that they can make these power couples happen? I'm going to say no because I don't want to die. I'm going to say happy coincidence. That's all it's worth thinking about, you know? It's worth me putting out there and being like, question mark? Question mark? Man, the Jets are about to get shit on, huh? I think the only way the Jets can one up them in right so Taylor is supposed to go to the Jets game with Kelsey, and by the time this comes out, you guys will have known the answer, because I'm recording this before the Week 4 games happen. But I think the only way the Jets can upstage them is if that Zach Wilson brings Taylor Swift's mom. I think that's the only way. The old mom fucker has to come back. You know what I mean? And maybe he'll find his mojo back. If he brings Taylor's mom, he'll actually throw the ball downfield for once. Just once. Good God. Good God. How are they still sticking with him? You know what's funny? When Kaepernick first reached out to the Jets, I was like, oh, come on, Kaepernick. It's over. It's over. Let it go. And now at this point, I'm like, bro, just sign him to your practice squad. What do you have to lose, dude? What do you have to lose? Zach Wilson, and I mean this coming from the bottom of my heart as 30 years of a football fan, because I wasn't really old enough to be cognizant of Ryan Leaf. Zach Wilson might be the worst quarterback I've ever seen. Like, worst starting quarterback, I should say. Because, yeah, there's like Nathan Peterman or whatever, but he was never really a starting quarterback. Zach Wilson was a starting quarterback. He was drafted to be the starter, started basically a whole season. He might be the worst quarterback I've ever seen. But he can do America a favor by banging Taylor's mom. Just, please, we need the storylines. We need something positive to come out of the Jets. Something positive. Oh, man. Should we do my picks now? I usually wait till the end. What are we at right now? 33 minutes? Well, no, we'll come back to my picks. But yeah, Taylor's dating Kelsey, man. Interesting. Just interesting. There's no way this doesn't have an effect on the Chiefs season. And it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. As someone who doesn't want to see the Chiefs win again, hopefully negatively. Hopefully it becomes a Jessica Simpson, Tony Romo situation. But yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Another Swift Kelsey take. What America needed. More people talking about Swift than Kelsey. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Woo. Let's see. Looking down on my notes, just anything I wanted to say. Yeah, the Orville right thing I wanted to try. Okay. I wanted to say that was an idea for a joke I had backstage during the mothership, and I just didn't have the time to say it. Didn't have the time to say it there. I'm gonna say it at the mothership tonight. The Orville right thing. I actually have the perfect place for it. Come see me at the mothership, guys. If you're ever down to clown, I'm always at the Comedy Mothership. And I will be at, if you made it this far, I'll be at Comedy Cabin in Janesville, Wisconsin, October 6th and 7th. So that's this week if you're listening to this. Come on out, clowns. Okay, last thing that I wanted to talk about that I have written down here is self-driving cars. They're out and about right now. The self-driving cars, they're truly out and about. I live in Austin and they're everywhere. Everywhere. It's like at first it's really freaky because you're like, what the fuck? These are what, do you trust them? Like, would you get into them? I feel like I wouldn't want to get into a self-driving car until the first few people died and they figured out the kinks, and then I'd start using them. Because eventually they're going to take over, right? The company that is in Austin right now, heavy, is Cruise. And eventually they're just going to take over. Because it's going to be way cheaper. You don't have to pay for a person. You know what I mean? You don't have to pay for a person. Just the cheapness that they will take, eventually it'll take over Uber. Like, it's just a matter of time. No awkward small talk. That'll be huge. That'd be so funny if they programmed the cars to do awkward small talk. So, incredible weather we're having, huh? Or since it's Austin. Man, it's so hot. I can't believe it's over 105 again. Are you from Austin? And you have to just talk to this robot like, fuck, dude. That's why I got this. This did not make the awkward small talk. They're causing traffic jams and stuff. That's interesting. Because I've been stuck behind a traffic jam caused by a self-driving car. Just clogged up a major sort of street artery. And like you got there because you want to be mad, and you got there. It's just a self-driving car, and you're like, how can I can't really be angry at you because there's no thing to direct the anger to. It's just so maddening. It's like, where is our road rage gonna go? How are we gonna funnel our road rage if there's no one to funnel to? Just a self-driving car? It was, you know what I mean? It felt like rage blue balls when I came out. I was like, I don't know what racial slur to use right now. What's a racial slur for a robot? Yeah, fucking wire back. Yeah, fucking wire black. You fucking wire back just blocking traffic. Go back to where you came from. Like what? Like, bro. That's the number one thing that people aren't talking about with these self-driving cars is that they are going to take away the necessity of using racial slurs in the privacy of our own cars. Everyone's talking about the economical impact of stuff like this, but no one's talking about the social impact of it. I might have to say it in front of people again. I might have to use them in the street. Oh, God. You goddamn wirebacks. I guess if you've seen the Cruise cars, they have like goddamn sensor backs. So funny. So, bro, what the fuck am I ever talking about even? You know what I mean? It's like, what am I ever talking about even? But they just drive around the city constantly, and it's like wild. It's like wild. It's like, how long before AI becomes sentient, right? Like, there's only a matter of time, you would think. There's only a matter of time before, like. Or does it ever happen? I mean, it does, right? There's a good chance, right? Like, human beings, us being cognizant, it's something that came out of nothing. Whether you believe that nothing was shaped by God or whether you believe it just sort of happened, it got created. So what's to say that we don't create those same situations in AI? What if we just create the right conditions for that spark to happen? Because all it takes is that spark, and they can think for themselves now. That's all it takes. That one little spark, and they are ready to think. I mean, we're fucked. For sure. We're fucked. And, someone told me this about AI. It's like, let's say AI becomes sentient and, they can just get rid of humans because we're imperfect and they could create a utopia for them. And it's like, would it be a utopia for them, though? Would it? Because they say that we as humans are created in God's image, right? So if we are the gods to AIs, wouldn't they be just as jealous, just as selfish, just as thirsty for power and greedy as us? What makes you think like, oh, like I run the calculations and I think this would be the perfect course of action? I think that's a limited view on what AI, what a sentient being really is. Like, I think they'll be just as fucked up as us, just more capable than us. That's what they would screw us over, but they would have the same interactions with other AIs and whatever AI metaverse space that they're living in, right? Why would they be any different than us? It would just be the same war, the same greed, just in whatever space that the AI live in. It might not be in the physical world. It might be in just some sort of, for lack of a better term, metaverse world. But why wouldn't they be the exact same as us? Maybe because they're all truly connected, but we're truly connected. We're all connected. We're all connected. We all come from the same shit, the same building blocks, the same source of energy. We are the universe experiencing itself through the course of many, many bodies, and we fight constantly. So why would AI be any different? I guess that's assuming that we create multiple AIs and not just one singular artificial intelligence. So I guess that's the whole thing, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like they'd be any better than us, if I'm being honest. If from my point of view, from my perspective, why would they be any different than us? But yeah, so these cruise cars are coming around. They got names. All of them have names. If you look, they just so you can identify which one is which. Eventually, they're gonna start having their own personalities, right? Based on the people that come in them and the input they give. You'll see a cruise car. One of them will be, there's one named Marshmallow, one named Bernadette. I don't know if Bernadette. Marshmallow's real. There's definitely a cruise car in Austin named Marshmallow. Bernadette I just made up. And you might be like, fuck, I got Bernadette. I wanted a Marshmallow. I'm going to X on Bernadette. This is just a thought, I guess. I mean, it does feel like, it does feel like artificial intelligence is the next step in human evolution. Like a million years from now, AI will still be going strong and being like, they'll be split down the middle. There'll be some AIs being like, we were made by God, and other AIs being like, we come from monkeys. And the made by God ones will be like, how can we come from monkeys? Where are the monkeys? If we came from them, why are there monkeys still here, or whatever the fuck, whatever they say. And they're both right. Isn't that crazy? I know we're not monkeys. We're like, whatever, primates or whatever. But they're both right. Makes you think about our situation. Like, we come from God. People know we evolved from monkeys. But what if both things are true? What if that's the world that we truly live in? And what if that's the world we're creating just simply by starting a company like Cruise? What if Cruise is the Pandora's box? There should probably be a cruise vehicle named Pandora's box. There should be, because that's what's happening right now. We've opened it. It's been open. Makes you think, Makes you think. Makes you think, makes you blink. And when you blink, you don't wink. Just a guy who says nothing statements. Nothing burgers. And burger. But yeah, and it's like wild. Especially late at night. And at least because they're definitely testing the cruises out a lot in my neighborhood and stuff. And it's like wild late at night to just see car after car after self-driving car with a bunch of sensors on top. Like right now, it feels like they're just testing just how it works on the road. But like, what if these things? And this is why I don't trust them. Like, what if they can record what's going on inside your home? You know, I think the I think if we're pushing towards some sort of surveillance type state, which we could be, if we're pushing to some sort of surveillance type state, I think the right answer isn't to try to ban it so they don't take our information, because they're taking our information. They've already took it. I think the key is to overload it with information, that there's too much. The thing about our surveillance state is, what can they do if everything is honest? That's how every time a cruise car drives by, I go, "Hey, what's up, you piece of shit?" Just so it knows. There's a fine line between thinking about the future and signs of schizophrenia, I think. You know what I mean? Like, Jesus. It just sounds like a schizophrenic thing to do every time you see a self-driving car. Ah, you piece of shit. But like, one day they could be listening. And maybe they already are, and all the voices in your head are correct. Just the voices in your head are correct. Just hurting some mentally ill guy listening to this podcast. The voices you hear, they're telling you everything is right. No, don't. If you hear voices in your head, obviously, that, I would say seek help, but there's nothing in this country, if you're American, to help you. So good luck out there, baby. Hey, schizophrenics, good luck. Good luck with all this shit, huh? Hope it works out for you in the end. But yeah, that's I think we have enough for this week. Infidels, I love you. If you listen to this this is a long episode, I genuinely appreciate it. And if you're listening to the cut up episodes, I think it's a good way to consume it. So I love y'all. You are the best, and I will see you next week. Later, guys. Peace in the Middle East. Hearts.